Mate. Mate. I like the sound of that. When Michael Goodman first showed me the prototype of the Mate at one of the Tokyo shows, I thought, isn't that a bit big? You want to put full-size XLR jacks on a portable unit? But really, when you look at it, it's not any bigger than some of what people have been carrying around as portable rigs with both a DAC and amp all wrapped together for listening to their IEMs or even full-sized headphones. And since it's all in, well, a DAC and amp in one package, that makes it somewhat neater. However, Michael did consult the Head-Fi community, and what did they want? Everything in the kitchen sink, of course, so you get no less than 8 different versions of the Mate. Primarily, there are 2 main versions. The first of those is the one I have here, which is the iDevice version. As well as a synchronous USB to plug into your computer, it has a USB-A port for plugging into your iPhone, iPad or iPod, giving you something of a good portable rig, along with a couple of sturdy rubber bands for putting around the unit. However, if you don't have an iDevice or don't want to use it with an iDevice, there is a version which replaces the USB-A port with an optical digital input instead. That means you can plug it into, well, anything with optical digital output. You might want to use the Mate as, say, a miniature desktop DAC and amp and, say, plug the optical into your game console and the USB into your computer or something like that, and use it that way. Or you may even have one of the newer DAPs that has optical digital output, such as the Astle and Kern series, and want to plug that in instead. On the output front for headphones, you have 4 different versions. This one is the most popular, the 4XL. It has a balanced 4-pin XLR output, and then a regular large and small 6.3mm or 1/4 inch and small 1/8 inch or 3.5mm jack for headphones. And the latter of which, if I switch it on, you see the little red glowing light coming out of it, doubles as an optical digital output. So you can pass through USB from your computer out to yet another device for converting through something else. Now, if these outputs don't interest you, there is also a version of the 4XL called the RSA, and that replaces the 4-pin XLR port with what's called an RSA balanced connector, which is a Kubicon connector with 4 pins, popular now with Cypher Labs, Ray Samuels Audio and ALO Audio. And a lot of people use those as a balanced connection to in-ear monitors or portable headphones. However, if neither of those interest you, the original idea was that Michael was going to put 2 3-pin XLR jacks on the front, and those would be Nutrix locking jacks. So you can they double either as 2 regular headphone sockets, or as an old headroom style balanced output using both left and right jacks. Last but not least, you can have regular male jacks on the front to use the Mate in the Pro version as a DAC and preamp, basically. Now, given it's a large unit, it has a large battery, and that means Michael had to go with 2 possible options, either less power and longer battery life, or more power and less battery life. And in the end, he went for the latter, and that makes the Mate quite a powerful unit, albeit with some sacrifice of battery time. And that means it only gets about 5 to 6 hours of use. So if you're thinking of taking on a long-haul flight, you're probably going to find it's probably not the best option. However, if you're going to take it with you to a hotel room as a portable rig, it is excellent. The output power of this had no trouble with my Odyssey LCD-X and XC or the Sennheiser HD800s that I plugged into it, delivering a wide and spacious sound with music both delivered from my computer and from my iPod. Given that Michael Goodman's background is in pro audio, it's not a surprise that the sound from the Mate, as well as being clean and clear, is very neutral and absolutely nothing but the facts. Despite that, he does use an AKM or Asahi Keisei DAC, which means, for me, who's someone who's very picky about their digital, actually has a very kind of undigital sound in general. However, if you do find that nothing but the facts and a straightforward flat sound is not quite to your liking, Michael has included both a bass and treble booster controls on the back, and with 3 positions, there's off, a little bit of boost, and a fair bit of boost available. And that means you can fine-tune the Mate a little bit towards your sonic preferences if necessary. And of course, given that you have lots of ports on the front with which you can plug in everything from sensitive IEMs through to current or voltage demanding full-sized headphones, likewise there are switches on the back for output impedance and gain, so that you can get as much volume or a good set the unit up as necessary for whatever you intend to plug into it. That being said, if you're just buying something for in-ear monitors, you probably might want to wait for Centrance to come out with the MiniMate, which is a half-thick version with a RSA style Kubicon balance connector on the front, and that will have a much longer battery life, albeit somewhat less power, and be far more suited to IEM use. However, if you're looking for a compact and neat desktop DAC and amp, the Hifi-M8 could be the go. At $700 odd, it's a fair chunk of change, but you can often find it discounted or on sale secondhand for $100 or $200 less. When I set this on my desktop, I use the included and very nicely made rubber straps as pseudo feet. By leaving them on, the Mate will actually sit on your desk very comfortably flat without sliding around, or even sit vertically quite reasonably well. And then when I do want to go out and try some headphones at a meet or at some shops or somewhere like that, I can very easily strap on my iPhone or an iPod and then take it with me. So despite owning various exotica such as the Astel & Kern AK240 and the Cord Hugo, the Mate is going to be staying in my stable and staying on my desktop. Given all the things that I can do with it, it is just too useful not to keep, and it sounds really good even in comparison to those more expensive units. Even if there's not quite as much detail, the headphone driving ability is fantastic. So again, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I look forward to seeing you on HeadFi.